as I run for office and people ask me to speak, I always say this: don't trust anybody running for office and what they say. Look at what they've done in the past, and that'll predict what they're going to do in the future. So who am I? Moved up here. I retired from Ossining Police Department about 12 years ago. Could have moved anywhere in the United States, and we moved to Columbia County, New York. I think it's the greatest county in the United States. I spent summers here. It's near and dear to my heart, so we moved up, became involved in the county. I was in charge of Stockport Police Department for many years when they were having problems, and brought that back. And then I was asked to come to Chatham. Besides that, I'm a volunteer firefighter. 2014, I was Columbia County Firefighter of the Year, with the crew of 3, for saving 2 people. There are 3 cats and 4 dogs. Everybody came out alive in that house fire, and we saved the house. So that's pretty cool. So I've always served. And besides serving, I have a master's in social work from Fordham, and I spend my life helping first responders who've gone through horrific human events, and because they're human beings too. So as soon as I came into Chatham, I did a couple things, because that's important to see what I do and what I can do for the county, what I've done in Chatham. First thing I instituted is something called Your Cop. I divided the village into different sections and assigned an officer to the cop, to that neighborhood. Police officer visited every single resident in a non-emergency situation and had a community conversation, a hello. And they were their cop, where they can contact them. So it started community. Second thing I did, I was the first police department to install video cameras in the cars, and I'm still to this day the only police department that has body cams.
Yeah.
Why? Transparency. Transparency will bring trust. So the camera doesn't lie. So I have a redundancy. If the body cam doesn't show it, the vehicle camera will probably show it. And so I brought trust back to the community. And then we also demilitarized the uniform. Our uniforms are baseball hats and golf shirts. Still police officers, but we're much more approachable as we demilitarize uniforms to approach as police officers. So that was a psychological thing that needed to happen. Also, we went from 5% minorities and women to 25% minority women in our department.
Yeah.
Our department has more African Americans in number with 24 officers than the sheriff's office with 150 officers.
Good.
So diversity is important, and that was important as a police chief. And the last thing I did, which probably I'm most famous for, is Chatham Cares for You. You see, I'm a person in long-term recovery. My last drink was September 2nd, 1995. I understand addictions. This opioid crisis is killing young people. It is affecting families. New statistic came out. 1 out of every 2 people in New York State has a family member they know who's struggling with an opioid addiction. That's how big it is. 2 years ago, I saw this, and as a community leader, I needed to do something, and I instituted Chatham Cares for You. Chatham Cares for You is a program which any person who has any type of addiction, not just opioid, can walk into our police station and say, I have an addiction, please help me, I need help to find a treatment bed. And we now will not arrest you, we will not harass you, we will find a treatment bed.
Rock on.
Because this is a public health crisis and you have a medical illness. Think about that.
Thank you so much.
So, and that's what I'm all about, is community policing, bringing people together, and helping people and looking at a crisis and not arresting our way out of a crisis.